time appropriate greetings on this nice, warm, beautiful day. Came outside to do a little walking, get some food. I'm actually on site at the corrections building. That's the Jacksonville jail. That is the back of the PMB, and holy moly, that's where I'm having lunch. It's a Tex-Mex meets Cubano establishment. I'm getting a Cuban sandwich and some 4 sweet plantains. So this is gonna be a delicious lunch, I think. And I'm gonna check in with y'all after I get done eating it and let you know how it is. Again, this is in Jacksonville, Florida, so they run around. We've got Jack's Food Truck, which is a Facebook page. Tells you where the food trucks are gonna be for that day. But JSO has recently started bringing in a food truck every day in the back of the house, as our cafe upstairs just underwent some new management. Oh, but it's a beautiful day, not too bad, and just waiting for lunch. So this was my lovely bag. Dude, that's my sandwich. Oh, that looks friggin' yummy. And those are my sweet plantains. Awesome. So, I'm gonna dig in, and we'll give you a review when we're done. That was weird. For some odd reason, my car is shaking. It's almost like wind, but I see no wind, so most likely it is other traffic below us. Sitting right now at a stoplight, waiting to go over the Main Street Bridge on the way home. But I wanted to go ahead and talk to y'all about the rest of that lunch. Pretty decent Cuban food. Well, Cuban sandwich. I had some sweet plantains, also known as maduros. Pretty tasty. So, for those of you who don't know what a Cuban sandwich is, and whoever finds this, first, a Cuban sandwich is an American tradition. There's no history of it being in Cuba. There's a lot of history of it being in Miami and Tampa. And this really comes down to little differences, little idiosyncrasies. So, a traditional Cuban, the way most people in the U.S. think of a Cuban, is, they call it a Cuban bread, but it's like a white hoagie roll type bread. There's certain mixtures you're looking for with it. Secondly, it has sliced ham, pulled pork, Swiss cheese, pickles, and mustard. And then you press it like a panini with some butter and some weight. And it tastes really delicious. It's typically cut on a bias. That's what a Cuban sandwich is. Now, there are some schools of thought that a Cuban sandwich also can have like salami, and that's how you know like the like Miami version has no salami. The Tampa version typically has some salami. But I got hooked on Cubans 4 or 5 years ago now. I was down in Tampa on a school trip for St. John's River. We had gone down there to the Dali Museum to check out this art exhibit. I fell in love with one of his prints, the Matador, I believe is what it's called. It's got a Venus de Milo. It's a lot of stencil work. It's a really big print that Dali did. And if you don't know who Salvador Dali is, Melting Clocks. That's typically the one everyone knows. But what was really interesting is afterwards, someone's like, hey, there's this really great deli around the corner. Well, we took like 20 minutes to find this place, but well worth finding it. It was a hole in the wall, and the sign out front just said simply delicious. You go inside and you've got maybe a 3-foot section between the wall that had like a couple of little seat benches and the order counter. And then, you know, it was probably 10 foot wide, maybe 12. You had your coolers on one side, walkway back to the kitchen on the other. Excuse me. It was run by some Puerto Ricans. That's straight up. They came from Puerto Rico. They said they came from Puerto Rico. And they made one of the best Cuban sandwiches I've ever had. Now, these things were like foot-long subs that you cut into 4, could feed 4 people. They had over a pound of meat on this foot-long. And I think we all ordered one. So we all had these huge subs. And we were all eating on them for days. But that's where I learned to enjoy a Cuban, was down there. And if I find a place that has a Cuban on the menu, I'm 80% going to order that food. I'm like that with tamales as well. I really like finding street food that's delicious. And to me, a tamale, it's amazing. Cubans are great. They're great food that's typically very inexpensive and can be eaten quickly and it's just delicious. Now, I've had a lot harder time finding good tamales than good Cubans. I mean, you can make a good Cuban at home. Good tamales at home are a little harder. Unless you have that background and experience. I'm white, I don't. I do plan on working on that and cultivating that a little bit more. But I really just want to talk about that lunch some more. That Holy Moly barbecue was pretty good. It was white folks. I'm going to tell you straight up, they white folks. But the Cuban was good. The Maduros, it could just be my taste with those. They were good. I would have enjoyed a smaller piece. Like, give me 6, but cut them. I mean, they were chunks, like 2-inch chunks. You know, inch chunks that I can just pop in my mouth would have been a lot better. But hey, somebody else cooked me food. I didn't spend that much on it, and I enjoyed it. If you ever have a chance, check them out. I'm going to let them know that I did do this video. In fact, I recorded the video close to there, and I told them as I got my food, I'm like, yeah, I'll post a review of this later, and it was good. I definitely want to try some of their other stuff. They did have a lot more street food stuff like tacos and a couple burrito options. But I saw Cuban. I wanted the Cuban. And, you know, the things that I didn't like about the Cuban are preferences. I prefer a thicker sliced ham. I prefer... Actually, that was about the only thing I could say. It was a little thicker ham would have been perfect on it. Everything else was delicious. We got some more things we're doing today. I've got to go run an errand on my way home, but I'm leaving Jacksonville. I'm leaving work, and it's 4:30, so I'm probably going to go hit that errand, head home, and then I think I've got a D&D game tonight. So we'll keep it up. We'll talk at you later, because traffic is now moving.